Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Fable Joey, and if you couldn't tell from the title or the thumbnail, I saw Endgame last night, and I cannot wait to talk about it. And before we get into everything, just so you guys know, this is completely spoiler-free. If people like this video and they comment that they want a spoiler-filled video, then I'll make one. But as of right now, I'm going to try my best to not spoil anything, and I don't think I will. So this review is spoiler-free. I cannot wait to talk about this movie, so let's get the jazz music going, and let's talk about Avengers Endgame. So, Avengers Endgame has been 11 years in the making. It is no longer the beginning of the end, it is the end of the end. And let me just say, if I could say one word to sum up this whole movie, it would be satisfying, because it really is satisfying. It's a satisfying ending to a journey that I've been 11 years going through, and I absolutely loved the film. I can't wait to talk about it, because there's just so much to talk about. Even though I can't spoil anything, and I won't spoil anything, there's already so much just to get you excited. There's a line in Doctor Strange that says, "Forget everything you think you know," and that's kind of something that I would suggest going into this movie, because there was a point where I was sitting there and I was like, everything I thought was going to happen didn't. And it's insane. I absolutely knew nothing about the plot going in. Obviously, I had seen trailers, but the trailers did a perfect job hiding everything. If someone would have asked me what the plot was before I saw it, I wouldn't have been able to tell them, because I had no idea. And I love when movies do that. With Endgame, obviously, it's been 11 long years. I've seen every MCU film up to Endgame, including Captain Marvel and everything, and honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better way for them to end this. And a lot of people are going to be worried or talk about the 3-hour runtime. It's a long movie, and it feels like a long movie. And it definitely, the first act, it's pretty slow. I loved it. I thought that the first act was absolutely perfect. I leaned over to my friend as we were sitting down to see it, and I was like, I heard that the first act is a little bit slow, and I'm really happy about that. I want to see how they're dealing with the effects of Infinity War. I want to see that, and they showed it near perfectly. And I just absolutely loved that. I love the fact that I knew nothing. There were points in the movie where I was like, is this happening? Is this real? It was insane. It's truly what it is. It's insane, and it's satisfying. There's so many shots where I just looked at that, and I was like, wow, this is the end. This is happening. This is the very last, big movie in the MCU as of right now. This ends it. It's Avengers Endgame, and that really hit me going in. And this movie's just got so much to it. I mean, the CGI, as always, is absolutely fantastic. Seriously, you don't know anything that's going to happen. First act onward, or at least I didn't predict anything, and everything I thought I predicted was completely wrong. So every theory that has ever been read, I mean, honestly, I don't know if any of them got anything right, because the plot's insane. The second and third acts are wild. The third act is probably my favorite third act in any superhero movie ever. It's honestly insane. The action set pieces are absolutely spectacular. Infinity War had incredible ones, so there wasn't a doubt in my mind that there wasn't going to be some in Endgame. And it's also really funny. I mean, I think the audience was laughing a bit more than I was, and maybe that was just because I didn't understand or didn't hear the jokes all that well, but I thought what was funny was super funny. And just, it's not really, I'm not necessarily there for the comedy. I love when there's comedy. I don't like when there's comedy that ruins serious moments, but Endgame is definitely a serious movie. I mean, it's funny at times, but they know how to control the tone, which is something absolutely amazing. And props to the Russo brothers for even making this happen. First of all, that they made this happen, I mean, that's insane. That this movie is a thing, that Infinity War and Endgame are a thing, and that they're as good as, they shouldn't be this good. There is no way that these movies should be this spectacular, and yet they are. And since I can't say much about Endgame because you guys haven't seen it, I just want to tell you, go. Go see it. If you're not a huge MCU fan, you're not a huge Marvel fan, but you kind of like them, and you think maybe I could get enjoyment out of it, you probably will. Is this a perfect movie? No. It's very far from it. There's a lot of problems and little nitpicks everywhere. And although I shouldn't ignore all of them because of how amazing the movie turns out to be, I kind of do. And if you're one of the people who wants a score for anything, I can't really give a score for this movie. I just can't bring myself to do it. I mean, I guess, how's this? We'll give it 10 Iron Mans out of 6 Thanoses. I mean, that's about all I can come up with. I can't give you guys a score. I gotta go see this again. And if I make a spoiler review, I'll figure it out then. But I absolutely love this film. I'm not going to say anything about the ending, but I will just say the very last shot of the movie is my favorite shot in, like, probably any movie or the MCU. Like, absolutely breathtaking. There were times where my jaw was completely dropped for just like 5 minutes at a time, and I was just completely amazed. Just all sorts of emotions going throughout Endgame. Like I said, it's not a perfect movie, but it's so close, and that's more than anything I ever could have asked for. Avengers Endgame is satisfying. It's brilliantly directed. The acting is phenomenal. I really could not praise the actors enough. Everything is just absolutely brilliant. Iron Man and Captain America, I felt like in Infinity War you got a little bit of time with them, but I'm glad that Captain America has more of a central focus because he was kind of snubbed in Infinity War. He was in it, but not a lot. He didn't have a lot of lines, so I love that he's back, and like kind of like everyone is just they're doing good, and like everyone is in their A game. Alright guys, so Avengers Endgame is absolutely fantastic. I have a hard time talking about it because it's insane. And it's so satisfying. If you're a Marvel fan, I can't see you walking out of this unsatisfied. And even if you aren't, I think you're going to have a good time. And honestly, I couldn't praise this movie enough. Like I said, it's not perfect, but it is so close. Thank you so much for watching this video. Look forward to my top 10 MCU movies very soon. And I will see you guys next time.